Oh, gotcha.
Don't give it just like a quarter kick, so to say.
Jesus!
Real cars, real guys, and real talk. Live from the gearbox at Unique Classic Cars. Welcome to Motorhood. Episode 17.
Here we are.
Here we are. It's busy because, well, a couple of weeks ago, you were out buying cars. Mm-hmm. The showroom is full, and you know what really signals the start of the car season to me is when we have cars inside and outside.
Yeah, the outside lineup is it's growing quickly.
It is,
and and they don't stay outside, but they kind of rotate through if they're waiting for service or waiting to get detailed. Then they're out, and it's nice too because then also people that are just driving through can see some cars outside. Clearly, the majority of them are inside, but there's always a few that are out there waiting for service or whatnot.
Sure.
Yeah.
It is April. I know you're a big hockey fan, by the way. We have to touch on this right away.
I am.
How are the Wild doing?
They're hanging in there. Big win the other night. They got 2 points against Dallas on Sunday. Huge game Wednesday night against Calgary. That's going to be a big one.
What is your level of optimism as they approach the postseason?
If we can get Joel Eriksson Ek, and Kirill Kaprizov back, which is, if they're going to come back, now's the time. We're a few games away from playoffs starting, and we're going to need them. So,
do you let professional sports get under your skin?
Not mostly. Once in a while, like if it's just egregious, either whether it's poor reffing or if they just get spanked, yeah, it'll irk me for a while. But no, I don't live and die by that sword. Put it that way.
I would say 20 years ago, I did. I literally it consumed me. And I just got to a point in my life, and I think you and I have brought this up. Being a Minnesota sports fan, you just get emotionally scarred and ready for the ultimate disappointment that we face as we approach any postseason.
You hope for the best and know the worst is coming. That's just, unfortunately, the Vikings especially, and most of the Minnesota teams have, they've conditioned us to that Pavlovian response of having sadness and grief.
The Twins in their first home series, the Target Field holds almost 40,000 people, 14, 15, 16,000 people. The optimism isn't there. I think we've moved on beyond that. It's funny you bring up the Vikings because I've taken a year now that I haven't really worked out as much as I would like to.
Sure.
And of course, my wife finds out that the Minnesota Vikings are doing Pilates.
I know where this. So should you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't know what it is, but when I go through these spells where I can't sleep, she's always like, "Well, you got to change your diet. You got to get back to exercising.
Yeah.
You got to do all these things, right?" And I'm like, "Listen, I just go through this stuff, and I don't need any special instruction, and I don't think Pilates is going to be the cure-all."
Right.
The three things with women right now are Pilates, sourdough bread, and astrology.
What is with the sourdough bread thing?
Have you noticed this?
Yeah, and by the way, it must not be just women because Jeff, our sales manager, the last 2 or 3 weeks on his days off, he'll come in with a loaf of sour bread, give it away to half the guys. And I'm like, okay, dude, you're making sourdough bread on your day, which is great.
Yeah.
But he must have got the bug too. I don't know.
It's strange in the sense that I don't think this is going to be sustainable for them because they're not going to want to continue to make bread for the rest of their lives.
No.
So this is just one of those things that's kind of coming along. Well, and my wife's into it. and what they're doing is you have to have the sourdough starter, right?
Yeah.
So my wife has a friend who has a 100-year-old starter that has been passed down through literally cultured in the jar.
Oh my gosh.
Right? So she starts talking about that and she goes, "Isn't that amazing?" And I'm like, what's really amazing? I'm going to go take a rip in a car that's 100 years old. Seriously.
Yeah.
We've got some Model Ts and some of the older ones, A's that are even back there right now. And you've been giving me a hard time telling me that you don't think I could take one for a spin.
I know without instruction you couldn't, and that's fine. Hey, we're all about teaching and learning and sharing the hobby, but I thought it would be comical because you're a little twitchy kind of guy, and I'm like, this guy's going to freak out. There's all these pedals on the floor, and oh, by the way, how the hell do you even start it? So yeah, I think that would be a comical thing.
I do have a little anxiety when it comes to stuff like that. I mean, I'm just ADD. As far as the Model A's and Model T's, I'm fascinated, and I know that if you come into our showroom, you've got a story of the automotive history.
Yeah.
As soon as you look left when you walk through our showroom, this whole wall back here is fantastic. And when I started to dig into them, because I was talking to our shop foreman, Pat, and he was telling me about all that went into these vehicles and how they were built back then. And honestly, with that vanadium steel and the stuff that they brought from France, I don't know if they could build a vehicle that people could afford with the quality that they built those original Fords.
Right.
It's incredible.
Yeah, Henry Ford, the Model T, it wasn't that he was building cars. It was that he was building cars for the masses in significant volume. That's what put him on the map. With Ford, their best sales year was, I think, 1923, which is kind of right towards the end of production. The Model T was made from 1908 to 1927. 1923 was the highest production year, a couple million units. At its peak, they were building almost 10,000 Model Ts a day. Think about that.
That's incredible.
10,000 cars.
Right.
In a day.
This was, I'm assuming, probably the first American vehicle, or I would say the first mass-produced vehicle that the average American family could drive.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. And that's why, like I said, that he was able to do it to the masses, for the masses, I should say, and to keep it affordable, and hence the assembly line and all those things. I mean, there's a lot of things that came out of that.
I actually sold a few to a guy in Montreal, Canada, that's a collector, and he told me, and this amazed me, but he goes, the reason I like to work on these cars and restore them is because I can get parts for them.
Yes.
Which is weird.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right?
But again, it's because, you think of the millions and millions of Model Ts that were built, and millions of them were destroyed. But the cool part is there's still millions of them left.
Yeah.
Because people, again, for a lot of families, and especially, they're passing it down generation, that was their first car. Like, not the first car they owned, but that was the first car.
Right, right.
But yeah, it's pretty crazy. And he made them pretty universal, too. I don't know if you knew this. When they first came out, especially, they were set up, you could run them on gasoline, ethanol, or kerosene. Any of those you could run that car on.
No kidding.
Or you could combine, or you could run the gas ethanol mix too.
Right.
So it was extremely universal. It was 20 horsepower, top speed around 40 miles per hour, but it was really quite a feat what Henry Ford accomplished. And it's one of those machines that it's, yes, it's internal combustion engine and all this kind of stuff, but it's really super simple.
Right. How about Pat, our shop foreman, again, was showing me the ignition system and all. There's wood boxes in what would be the coils.
Yeah,
right?
Those are the coil packs.
And there's 4 of them, right?
Yep.
4 of them in there, and they're made out of wood.
Yes.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Right? And all the steel and stuff but there was so much thought put into those vehicles, and the way that they were built, as I mentioned, I don't know if you could produce a vehicle with that quality of material today and make it affordable. Mm-hmm. It's just absolutely nuts. By the way, speaking of old, he handed me this service book. It's copyright 1925, and as I paged through here, you could literally take that book. Didn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
If you followed the instructions, you could do work on those vehicles.
Yeah, you could adjust valves, you could adjust the transmission bands, you could fix the rear end, you could troubleshoot the coils, everything.
Right.
And you didn't have to be an A1 mechanic. You could take it to your local Ford garage, but you didn't have to.
Right. Unlike the cars that we have today, that's why we have the guys in back, right? Right? Our
exactly.
mechanics. So I was asking Pat, he was like, we actually have one. And I was like, we do? Because I wanted one of the early models, right?
Yep.
And he took it back and he showed it to me. He was like, "Oh, let's kind of walk through it." And he gave me a good tour.
I think that's a 24 coupe, I think, right? 1924 coupe. So that car's going to have electric start on it, but you can still crank them.
Yes, that's. I've heard all kinds of horror stories about that. Like seriously, because the guys in World War II talked about M1 thumb. And that was loading the M1 Garand from the top, and you could slam and just crush your finger as you're loading that 8-round clip in.
Sure.
And he was telling me, if you're not careful starting this, it'll take your thumb off.
Yeah, if it kicks back on you, you're going to feel it. So
have you ever started one?
Oh, yeah.
With the crank?
Yeah, have you?
I have not. I've never driven or started one, but I'm fascinated
Which
by
is why I've been teasing you, because I think it's time you do it.
You've been giving me a hard time.
Yes.
Do you dare me?
Oh, I double dog dare you.
Okay.
You can't say no to that.
I won't. I tell you what. I know that he's back there, and I could have one of our transport guys bring that thing around front. Let me ask you this: do you think I could get it to go?
Not by yourself, but if Pat's going to help you, I think you'll get it going. And you guys go. It's nice out finally.
It is. It's sunshine.
You guys go get it out, and then you come back in, and I want to know how it goes.
I tell you what, I'm going to go grab him right now, and I'm going to grab our producer, and we're going to see how this goes.
Let's do this. I love it. On the fly. Let's go.
So Jeremy's been giving me shit that I can't start and drive one of these things. This is a 24 Ford Model T. So here we go. Pat, looking at this initially, what would be the first thing I was going to do if I was going to start this thing up?
Well, if you're going to use the crank, you're going to want to make sure, A, that it's in park, so to say. They just lever all the way back so it locks the park brake and everything in the driver's door.
Let's look at that real quick.
Basically your range lever. So this is basically park is all the way back, or what I call park. It's not really a park.
Right.
And then a little farther forward is neutral, and then you got low and high.
Okay.
All right off of this lever. And then them three pedals are forward, reverse, and brake. And then this one actually has what they call a 2-speed splitter on the rear end. And that's what this is for. This is like an overdrive from back in the day. So most time you won't even mess with that unless you're going on a trip somewhere and you want to get her going a little faster than what it did from the factory.
I'm going to be honest with you. This sounds a little bit more difficult than I was anticipating. So everything's on and I'm ready.
Yep, you just
to
gotta
give her a rip.
Make sure that that ignition switch is pointed to mag, which it is. I looked and set it there already. And you want your timing lever all the way up. And I usually pull the fuel down just a hair. Should be able to give her a crank and she should go. But remember, you got to hold your hand so you don't tear your thumb off. Tuck your thumb like this and hold with the palm of your hand.
Got it.
So when you push down, if for some reason when it does start, it can't grab that crank, and if it spins it around, it's going to push your hand away.
Is that thing going to spin when it starts?
It's supposed to. 9 times out of 10, they're set up so as soon as that crank turns, it kicks it out.
Okay.
So that it's not locked in. So as soon as it fires, just let go of it.
So hang on to it until it starts?
Yep, as soon as it fires, get your hand out of the way. You got a little more than that. There you go.
Here we go.
Yep.
I got nothing.
Here, we're gonna make this easier.
What is...
Well, the way I normally do it is I'll grab it and I'll, if it doesn't fire anyway, I keep going.
Oh, gotcha.
Don't give it just like a quarter kick, so to say.
Jesus! I got nothing.
Well, here, hang on. Let's make it sure it's gonna let it warm up for a second, and then it'll start easier.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, what the hell did they do when it was below zero?
Keep cranking.
Jesus. Because that thing does not turn easy.
No. We can't show you a video of this one running on the Magneto because the Magneto don't work.
Oh.
So it'll never start that way.
So I can't start it from the front?
Nope.
Can't start that. Let's take her for a rep then.
We can do that.
Well, all right. Oh!
That's why I normally get in this side.
Jesus!
First thing is you're going to want to make sure that pedal isn't pushed down a little bit.
Okay.
Once again, make sure that lever's all the way back.
Yep.
And then you want to look in here again and make sure. See, that side says battery, that side says mag. And what I did to check the mag is when it was running here, I just flipped the key over there quick. It should take over and run, and it didn't. So if we go there, now you should be able to hit your start button.
Oh, got it.
Yep.
And I don't have to have my foot on any pedals.
And then you want to bring your timing down until it starts to smooth out. Hear how it's smoothed out really nice? And then what you're gonna do is that lever over there, slowly move that forward. And don't go too far, because remember, if it does go too far, then you're gonna go right into high range.
Gotcha.
So what I normally do is I'll just move it forward and you'll feel kind of click,
Uh-huh.
and then that should be good enough.
And then it'll just drive?
Yep. Well, you'll have to push a pedal. And then do you remember what to do if you have to panic?
No, I
All
don't.
3 pedals at the same time.
Oh, shit.
It'll kill the car dead. You're probably far enough already.
Okay.
Make sure, here, I'm not trying to hug you or anything,
No.
but see how it kind of locked right there?
Yeah.
Now go ahead and push your, which one is that? That's reverse, that's brake. So go ahead and push that one down. Oh,
Jesus
the
Christ.
harder and faster you push that, the faster we go.
Okay.
And now go back to the click where you were with that one and slowly push that pedal.
Oh, yeah. And this is the idle right here?
That's your gas. That's your gas
Oh.
pedal. So you don't need much gas.
Oh, my. Let's just go up, quick turn around
Yep.
here. So I just let off and then brake.
Push that brake, yep. And then I usually idle it down when I do that, when you come to a stop.
Yeah.
And if you want to back up, then you push just that center pedal. Yep, but you got to watch. Like I said, I usually, I pull my foot down.
Oh, shit.
And then just use my toes. That way my foot don't get stuck in between the pedals.
Like that.
Yeah.
So then I can just brake,
Brake,
and then if I want to go forward again,
push that other
I just
one.
hit the other one. Look at that.
Yeah. Now when you pull up here and park, instead of hitting just the brake, get it going straight and push all 3 pedals at the same time. Hit them.
Ooh.
It kills
And then
the
it just
car
kills
dead.
the whole car dead.
Yep.
Why does the car die when you do that?
Because you're trying to make it go forward and backwards at the same time, and when you push it, you're tightening them bands up on that drum, so it can't do that.
No kidding.
And that's, like I said, what a lot of people consider an emergency stop.
Right. So this is not. What's actually running the drivetrain in this?
What do you mean?
I mean, like the.
It's got a drive shaft and a normal transmission, but when you push, or not a normal, it's got a drum style transmission. And like I said, I can give you that book that I got on these. It shows an exploded view of all that stuff.
Really?
It even shows 2 guys with 2x4s under one of these, lifting the body up and walking onto over a frame with it to set
No
it down.
kidding. So now you can tell Jeremy that I'm an expert with Model A's.
All right, well,
Or
remember
Ts.
that, because tomorrow or the next day I'm going to get one out and give you a quiz.
No. I just can't imagine driving those goddamn things in the
Well, like I tell everybody else that drives them, they're like, there's no way in hell I'd ever drive one of them. I said, think about it. The heater in that worked a lot better than the heater on your horse.
Right.
All right. How to go with the Model T?
I'm an expert.
I
Okay, maybe not.
doubt that.
Maybe not. Have you ever tried to start one of those things with a hand crank?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, let me see your thumbs. You still got both of them?
I have both of
All
them.
right, that's good.
I got the warning, by the way. I did not know that they had electric start in those.
Yep.
As they progress through the years. So
Starting in 1916, I think was first year for the electric start.
that would be the way I would go. Because I'm going to tell you, I don't care how much you work out, and I don't know how guys in that era did it, but that is a hell of a crank.
So, but you got it to fire.
We got it to go, and
Now,
well,
we or you?
Well, I did have a little help from our shop foreman, Pat. And by the way, I would say this. You could drive that thing in a residential neighborhood or through the streets.
Oh, for sure.
And never have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
Right? You can do it. You can do it.
Exactly.
What do we got going on over here?
I didn't know. Have you seen the Chevelle that came in?
No.
Here, you gotta look at this. 70 Chevelle, nicely restored, big block, automatic, bucket seats and everything. But wait, look at it close. Is it really the Chevelle?
I hope so. What?
So these are the custom car covers we're doing, and we can order them for any car, any size, whether it's a stock, a custom, a street rod, a ice cream truck. We literally did one for one of the Good Humor ice cream trucks.
Sure.
So you can see these things and get these things. And all you have to do, if somebody wants to order one, email me some pictures of your car. That's literally all you have to do. You can send the email to sales@uniqueclassiccars.com and we can get these for you. But check this out. Watch this. Look what's under here. Oh, look at that.
It's the exact car that you
It's
have
the
on the cover.
same car.
That is incredible.
So what's awesome about this is what I'll be the first to admit I'm biased because I've got these on most of my cars at home.
Sure.
The cool part is, what I like about them is a lot of guys like me like to sit in their man cave and, well, let's face it, you sit there, you have a whiskey and you stare at your cars and with a grin on your face, and it's a good like man solo time, right? But what I hate is, everybody wants to protect their cars, I do too, and you'd put these big ugly gray or brown covers on, you can't see your car.
Right.
So then I always have this, well, screw that, I'd rather look at them than have the cover on. Well,
Right.
This gives you the best of both worlds. You can still protect your car, but you can still see it. So if your buddies come over or any of that, here you are, hey man, that's the Chevelle and that's the Pontiac and that's this and that's this. Yeah.
And you can have that custom made for any vehicle.
Yeah.
Just go to our website, right?
Yeah, you can go to the website under our merch area, or like I said, literally, you can just email sales@uniqueclassiccars.com, pictures of your car and which one you want. You can get the inside cover like this. You can get one that's waterproof, and you can even get a quilted one, all with your printed car design on it. So they're awesome, man. It dawned on me as like, we've never talked about these, and I love them. Like I said, and I'm biased. I've got them on most of my cars at home. But it's awesome, whether you have one car or an entire collection. Imagine walking into these guys that have 20, 30, 50 car collections, and they're all protected, but yet you can still see them all. It's cool, man.
Right, and you can custom, I'm assuming, you could have any design made on this that you wanted, right?
Absolutely. Like say, big Cadillacs to a little Fiat to boats, motorcycles, ice cream trucks, like I said.
Right.
So, yeah, we can literally print just about anything and
Could you
look good.
customize, even though you'd have the exact vehicle cover, could you have anything else custom made? Like if you had let's say a sports team or something that you were following?
Yeah, they actually affiliation now with the NBA and Hot Wheels. So if you want to make a custom one, like if you had you wanted to make this like a Hot Wheels radical looking thing, but it's stock underneath,
right?
That can be done as well. I think the other thing that would be funny is, let's say you had a project car and all you had was the shell. And you put this on, you could tell all your buddies, yeah, here's my Chevelle SS, and then it's a piece of crap underneath. No one's gonna know the difference.
Right. It's what it will one day look like.
Right. Yeah, this is the goal, and so there's all kinds of uses.
And like I said, this is kind of a thinner fabric, but if you're outside and you're going to be a little bit more in the element,
then you get the waterproof one or the quilted one, so it's a little thicker.
So you can do either way.
Absolutely. So
that is cool.
I just had to show you that quick, man.
That is awesome.
We can get upstairs and get back to work, but. Yeah,
our producer's waiting on us. We got to get back. We got to get back to the shop here.
Yeah.
So that is a pretty cool car cover.
Oh, like I said, I've said it a couple of times. I know I'm biased, but man, they're neat and nobody's seen them before.
Right.
And
so if you walk
cool.
into somebody's garage and you see that versus just old brown or whatever tarp laying over the top of their car, it looks
old bed
so
sheets and stuff like this. And plus, like I said, you get to see your car. That's the best part.
Well, to elaborate just for a second on my experience in the original Ford. I just like to call it that because it's not the GT350 that you don't want me to talk about.
Mr. Suspension and Handling, how'd that Model T treat you?
You know what? I was shocked. Honestly, they handle and drive pretty well, but the one thing that drives me crazy is the pedal and drive system is contrary to everything that you're taught growing up. Like when my dad was like, 1 foot.
Yes.
1 foot, right? Especially when you're driving in an automatic. So, but, as people had a chance to see, I had a few stalls. But I got it to run in reverse. I did not get it to actually start with the crank, and I'll be honest, the anxiety.
How nervous were you, for real?
I was seriously.
Were you afraid of losing a limb?
Right. Well, it's like, am I going to break my wrist? Is it going to rip my thumb off my hand? What exactly is going to happen here?
Well,
right?
Pat might have had you hyped up a little.
Oh, he did. But
that's okay.
That's why we got those guys back there.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Real quick, before we wrap up here, I want to mention we got our car shows coming up. Second Saturday of May is our first one. And
Yes.
to me, this is what we wait for all year because
Oh, we
car
love it.
guys get out and we're going to get together.
Yeah, exactly. And again, at the roll-ins that we have here, and people come literally from hours away to come to these, and they're a lot of fun. We have live music at every single one. We have good food at every single one. The camaraderie is awesome. There's 150, 200 cars inside. We usually have that much for a turnout outside. So I mean, it all of a sudden, just like that, turns into one of the biggest quick roll-ins you can go to. So it's a great time.
Yeah, we have a great time. We've got other events, by the way. Follow us on our website, uniqueclassiccars.com. And if you've not found the Motor Hood page itself, we've got that out there as well.
Yeah, make sure that you like and subscribe to that because there's going to be there may be some things coming that are strictly for our followers or those that wish to follow us. We've got a few surprises coming up here in a little while, so stay on that. Get subscribed now.
Yeah, we're going to have some, we could just say it. We're going to give some stuff away.
Shh. Damn it, George, you're not supposed to tell anybody.
Well, I like to because, again, find us, and it's Motor Hood Podcast on YouTube. Just subscribe, and you're automatically in.
Guy giving away the farm,
It's that simple.
man.
It's that simple. We've got, and if you look behind us, we've got a lot of cool stuff to give away.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
Maybe not that L78.
Yeah, probably
down
not.
there,
Probably not.
But we do have some cool stuff. But as we head into the summer driving season, you know what we say? When in doubt,
Gas it.
just gas it, man. So I'll have to admit I'll wait for you to get off your phone.